Belt to fucking ass. Belt to fucking ass. Don't you love it? Don't you love a way to start a series like the way the Phillies just did by pounding and pounding? Belt, like what Tyler says in the chat right here, belt to fucking ass. Phillies beat the New York Mets by a score of 10-2. The offense completely erupts on the Mets bullpen late, starting in the bottom of the seventh inning. Bryson Stott, Trey Turner, Alec Boehm. You have freaking JT Realmuto and Nick Castellanos inches behind each other running along the base paths and both scoring realistically at the same time. Let's be real here. That was a crazy moment. You have Nick Castellanos with basically the icing on the cake with a home run in the bottom of the eighth inning. That ball was absolutely crushed. And, Phillies got on the board first. They made it 2-0. Zack Wheeler really battled into this game. He did not have his best stuff, but he still found a way to give you a scoreless outing. Sadly, he was only able to go 5, which kind of sucked. I kind of thought he probably should have went 6. My personal opinion, he's your ace. This is a very important series for your team. I understand that people say, oh, it's only June. The series shouldn't be that important. It's against your division rival that you are tied, basically, going into this game for the division lead. So your ace should be good to go at, 93, 94, 95 pitches that Zack Wheeler had finishing that 5th inning. And realistically, he should have had less pitches coming out of that 5th inning if it wasn't for the fucking third base umpire with the brutal check call on Juan Soto, which was clearly a swing, and also Brandon Marsh misreading a ball in center field with 2 outs. That should have been, the inning-ending out right there, which would have saved Zack Wheeler's pitch count and probably would have started the 6th because, in result of Marsh catching that ball. But I digress. And then you also have fucking Rob Thompson bringing out Taijuan Walker in the 6th, and then immediately the game gets tied because of Alonso and McNeil going back to back. I was like, a toddler. A toddler could have called that. A toddler could have said that Taijuan Walker coming out there in the top of the 6th inning in a 2-0 game was bad news. It was bad news. And it was instant in the first batter. Alonso crushed the ball to center field. And then McNeil crushed a liner that got out of the ballpark. I mean, what are we doing here? And then you had to bring in Tanner Banks to finish off the inning. And hell, okay, I'll give credit to Tanner Banks because he really settled in and saved your bullpen, basically. So all the credit in the world to Tanner Banks. Because Tanner Banks, he went an inning and 2/3, 26 pitches, no hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. Did not allow a single base runner. So all the credit in the world to Tanner Banks. All the credit in the world. It really sucks that Wheeler gets a no decision in this game, but I guess I'll take it at the end of the day when your team... It really sucks because this man gets no run support. And of course, when he leaves the ball game and when you're using your low leverage relievers, that's when all the runs get scored. But I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. The only thing I'm realistically going to complain about is Taijuan Walker because Jesus fucking Christ, anybody could have guessed Taijuan Walker would have, came up short, came up small in that moment. Only recorded 1 single out. It was bad. It was a bad performance from Taijuan Walker. But your offense showed up late. And of course, they made the guy coming into the ball game, making his 2nd major league start with a 14 ERA. Looked like Cy Young out there for a little bit. He did allow 2 runs. He only went 3 2/3 innings. They got his pitch count to 74 pitches. He walked 3, struck out 4. The Phillies really got to their bullpen, especially a guy like Reed Garrett, who has a 2.45 ERA, but his command was just completely all over the place. And the Phillies, they got to him. They got to him, and then they brought out Garza, and the Phillies just scored more runs off of him. So good for them. Good for them. Buto, he went 2 innings. He shut them down basically, but they got to the back end of the Mets bullpen, and specifically Garrett, because obviously Garza is not the back end of their bullpen. It's really more Garrett. They're a setup guy, and they got to him. So good on them. Good on them. 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Offensively, like I said early, it was kind of not the best, but the bats really did wake up when the game mattered most in the crutch time. And they really did something. Juan Soto had a very bad play in the outfield. I believe it was on the Alec Bohm single, which gave the Phillies the lead. And no, actually, it wasn't the it was the Alec Bohm single. It was in that 7th inning, but it was the Alec Bohm single that made it 4-2 Phillies actually. And Trey Turner, it was like a inside out swing basically. Trey Turner scores easily, but then Kyle Schwarber advancing on the play as well, going to third base. Juan Soto's not paying attention whatsoever. He throws to the cutoff man and Pete Alonso, and then it forces Pete Alonso to rush the throw over the third base, and Schwarber's safe there. So that was just, that was ugly. That was ugly. That was very ugly. And there were definitely some weird things today. Freaking 3 pitches into the goddamn ball game, Wheeler looks like he struck out Lindor on 3 pitches, and then you get Lindor, arguing, and the Mendoza, the manager for the Mets, arguing with the umpire, which took fucking 50,000 minutes to determine if Lindor fouled the pitch or not, which he probably did. But seriously, it did not need to take 50,000 minutes to basically decide if Lindor fouled it or not. If you're going to take that long, don't overturn the fucking call. Like, seriously, that's not a reviewable thing. It shouldn't have happened, personally, in my opinion. But what am I going to do? Maybe that kind of affected Wheeler. Maybe that kind of screwed Wheeler up a little bit. Maybe he got pissed. There was a little bit of animosity from Zack Wheeler today, not going to lie. Especially in that final batter that he faced Juan Soto, where he was clearly pissed off with the third base umpire for the check swing call. It was a swing that he didn't call swing, and Wheeler got the out eventually. He got Juan Soto to strike out, but then you see Wheeler stare down the third base umpire. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I've never seen this from Zack Wheeler before. Kind of like it. I kind of like it. But there were so many, what was one of the strike three, JT Realmuto getting struck out, looking on a ball that was way below the knees. What the fuck was that? There were was it Caleb Cotham that was even barking at the umpire? I think it was during the Juan Soto check swing. I think that's when Caleb Cotham was actually barking at the umpire. What the holy fucking shit. Caleb Cotham is showing more emotion than Rob Thompson. Seriously, I understand Rob Thompson is the most cool, collected person in the world, but seriously, at some of these points, you need to bark at the umpire, man. You really need, especially in those certain situations where your hitters are getting fucking screwed. Come on. Some of these strike calls were just fucking ridiculous in this game for both sides, honestly. But Jesus Christ, really on the Phillies side, this is the umpire behind the plate, but it was bad. It was bad, very bad. So, let's go over this game. So, top of the first inning, Wheeler, after that, situation with Francisco Lindor, and of course, after that entire, deciphering to try to determine if Lindor swung or not, he flies out on the next pitch. So, what the fuck was the purpose even? And then Wheeler, a single to Nimmo, a walk to Soto, a walk to Alonso. So bases loaded, 1 out. Wheeler's commands all over the place, and he can't find the strike zone. Thankfully, Jeff McNeil grounded into a double play to end the inning, so Wheeler avoided a gem right there. Top second inning, there was a leadoff single and a fielder's choice, so a relatively easier inning for Zack Wheeler, but the command still basically all over the place. Phillies in the bottom of the second inning, they had a couple of base runners with 2 outs. Nothing happened there. Bottom third, leadoff single from Marsh. Turner grounds into a double play. Nothing happens there. Then you go bottom fourth inning. That's when the Phillies got on the board. Nick Castellanos with a leadoff single. JT Realmuto single. So you get first and second for Bryson Stott. He walks. And then Otto Kemp with bases loaded and 1 out. He grounds into a fielder's choice. It was a soft chopper to third base. They tried to turn a double play to get the out at second base, and then Kemp was safe at first. And obviously the Mets tried to fucking complain because they thought Stott was running too hard in the Jeff McNeil at second base. When in the replay, he clearly did not make contact until the throw was out of Jeff McNeil's hands, so I have no idea. The Mets were fucking complaining the entire goddamn game. It was kind of sad. Not gonna lie, it was kind of sad. And then Brandon Marsh, they bring in a lefty to face Brandon Marsh. He's down in an 0-2 count, I believe, in this at bat. Yeah, he's down 0-2, and he just puts the bat on the ball and just pokes at the left field, and he scored, and he gets a run home. Makes it 2-0 Phillies. Brandon Marsh would have hit against the lefty. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So good on Marsh. Phillies go up 2-0. Top 5 for The Mets, obviously that 2-out double by Nimmo, which probably should have been caught by Brandon Marsh in center field, eventually leads to the Juan Soto long at bat, which turned into a strikeout, which eventually was the last batter for Wheeler in this game. Bottom 5 after a Schwarber leadoff single, nothing really happened. He did not come around to score. Then you go to that top of the 6th inning when Taijuan Walker comes on the mound, back-to-back home runs. Holy fucking shit. Then he allows the single to the Lorenz. Then Banks comes into the game. He gets baited a strikeout, and then Taylor to foul out. Actually, Otto Kemp made some nice plays in this game. I forget which inning it was. I think it still was when the game was tied. Trey Turner makes it. It was a hard ground ball to Trey Turner, and Trey Turner has to rush the throw. I think it was against Brandon Nimmo, if I'm not mistaken. And then Trey Turner has to rush the throw. I mean, Otto Kemp was not touching first base when he made this catch. He was not touching first base. I have no idea why the Mets didn't challenge it. It was a rush play by Trey Turner. The throw was a little bit off, and Otto Kemp has to really stretch out to try to get the ball. The umpire called him out, the runner that is, and on the replay, Kemp was not on first base when he made the catch. I don't know why the Mets didn't challenge it. I forget which inning this was in, but it happened. It definitely happened. Then he also made a very nice leaping catch. I believe it was on Pete Alonso or was someone in foul territory. He also made a nice diving play on a grounder at first base. So some interesting defense from Otto Kemp. More good than not today, but some weird stuff. Tanner Banks in the top of the 7th inning against the top of their lineup goes 1-2-3. Lindor with a pop-up, Nimmo with a ground out, and then Soto grounds out. I actually think the Nimmo ground out, that was against Tanner Banks in that top of the 7th inning, so that was the weirdness right there. So then you go bottom of the 7th inning. Brandon Marsh leads off the inning with a double down the left field line, and then Trey Turner doubles with basically a soft, and Trey Turner's down, I believe, with 2 strikes. Oh, he's 2-2 in the count, and I think it was like a slider on the outside part of the plate that Turner just reaches for and pokes it in the right field. That just basically hit in the perfect spot to allow Marsh to score and also allows Trey Turner to get a double. So Phillies go up 3-2. Kyle Schwarber works a walk. And Alec Boehm with the inside-out single that scores Trey Turner when Juan Soto just not paying attention with the dumbest throw possible to the cutoff man, which allows Schwarber to go to third base. So it's 4-2 Phillies in this situation. The Mets bring out Garza. The first pitch he throws single by Nick Castellanos makes it a 5-2 Phillies lead. JT Realmuto then walks, which loads the bases up with 1 out for Bryson Stott. He hits a really deep fly ball to the deepest part of the ballpark, and it goes off the wall, which clears the bases, and basically the funniest moment where you have JT Realmuto literally inches behind Nick Castellanos on the base paths running the home plate. I thought somebody was going to run somebody over, and that's how fast JT was running. Well, obviously, Castellanos on the play is preparing for possibly the ball to get caught, which is in essence smart base running, but I thought JT was going to fucking run him over. Holy fucking shit. Both of those guys scored. The base got cleared. It was a very funny moment, and the Phillies go up 8-2. Then Lazar comes out. He finishes off the ball game 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th, and then Castellanos hits the 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th to make it 10-2, and then Lazar finishes off the night to save the rest of the bullpen. Phillies win 10-2. Trey Turner lineup tonight. Trey Turner 2 for 5 with an RBI. He was very quiet to start the game, but then got the double, the RBI double to give you the lead. So made his stat line look a lot better. Kyle Schwarber went 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Alec Boehm 1 for 5 with an RBI single. Nick Castellanos had a very good game. 3 for 5 with a 2-run shot. So good on Nick. Kepler 0 for 5. JT Realmuto had a very solid game. 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Bryson Stott had a good game, 1 for 2 with the bases clearing double with 3 RBIs there. He also had 2 walks in this game, and then Otto Kemp went 0 for 4 with the RBI on the fielder's choice. And then Brandon Marsh, a very good game in the 9-hole, 3 for 4 with an RBI. And Marsh is getting his average back up there. He's batting .266. He's been batting way over 300 basically since he came back from his injury. So really good on Brandon Marsh at this point. It really sucks that his defense in center field is not good. He is not a good defensive center fielder. He is more suited for the corners, and it clearly shows when he does play in the corners. That just sucks in that case. But yeah, it's good on Brandon Marsh. Good on Brandon Marsh. That's really much needed, and a very good way to start off this series. And also, too, the Braves lost to the Marlins today. So, yeah, whatever fire they caught against the Mets, it instantly just died against Miami. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, good on the Phils. Good on the Phils. And it's funny, too, I just noted this. The Mets are below 500 on the road. They are 18-21 away from Citi Field, and the Phillies are 25-13 at Citizens Bank Park. That is a clear discrepancy there. The Mets, they only went 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. They didn't get that many chances after that, top of the first inning when they had bases loaded. So Phillies pitching, besides basically Taijuan Walker, limited them. So good on the pitching staff, and good on Zack Wheeler for battling in this game. I was kind of very frustrated with Wheeler with the way that his command was very off. But he still deserved the right to go out for the 6th inning, in my personal opinion. Obviously, he got screwed by Marsh's defense and the third base umpire with the check swing. But I still feel like with, 95 pitches that I think he finished? No, okay, he finished with 98 pitches. I still think he deserved the right to at least start the 6th inning, in my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, in a 10-2 ball game, it becomes a nitpick. It becomes a nitpick. But then, you use your low-leverage guys, even though they tried to use Taijuan Walker in a high-leverage situation. That's another discussion for another day. Should never happen again. Bottom line, that's all you need to know. Banks was huge for you. Banks was huge for you, and he deserves all the credit. Going up against their top of the lineup, finishing the crap that basically Taijuan Walker left him in, he was huge, and he saved your bullpen. And offense going off, too. Good on them. Good on them, and a good way to start this series, and you set yourself up to win a series in the next 2 games. You have Mick Abel on the mound tomorrow, and I believe, Griffin Canning that they're facing tomorrow on the mound? Yeah, Griffin Canning. He's 6-3 with a 3.8 ERA. In his past couple of starts, he has not been good, so maybe that is a boat of good things to come, but then also it's the Phillies. They score a bunch of runs in one game, then the offense, or maybe this is just a stretch where the offense does wake up, because it kind of feels like they'll have, with the way this offense is, because they had that really good offensive series against Toronto where they scored a bunch of runs. It seems like when they score runs, they go on like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 straight games of scoring a bunch of runs per game, and that's when the offense eventually dies after. So maybe this is just another stretch where they're scoring a bunch of runs per game or something like that. I have no idea. I'm not predicting. I'm not saying it's going to happen. That just feels like that's the pattern with this Phillies team, if that makes sense. So maybe this is just because they didn't score that much against Miami. They didn't do much offensively against the Marlins. So maybe this is when the offense is starting to wake up a little bit here, and they take advantage of a Mets team that is very struggling. And they have lost, 7 games in a row at this point, going back to them getting swept the past 2 series against Tampa Bay and Atlanta. So, yeah, let me look at that. Have they lost 7 in a row? Yeah, they've lost 7 in a row. They're 3-7 in their last 10. And now with the win, you're 46-30. You're a game above the Mets for first place. You are now first place in the National League East Division. The Braves, with their loss against Miami, they're 6 games below 500. They're 11 games behind you in the standings. Jesus Christ, the Braves are 12-25 on the road. Holy fucking shit. Oh, look at the way the Mets are. They're 27-10 at home at Citi Field. So they're dominant in their home ballpark. They're terrible on the road. They are terrible on the road. They're 18-21. So that's very telling right there. That is very telling. They're not good away from their own ballpark. But still, a lot of credit for the Phillies today. A lot of credit for the Phillies today. I do want to see if there's anything from postgame, if there's anything that pops up from any of the Phillies insiders from anything here today. But I don't think we're going to see much. No, of course, the Frank Fleming guy went off on another goddamn rant on Twitter. The guy from Barstool that just goes completely bonkers every time the Mets lose a game. He did it again. No, I don't think there's anything right now from Rob Thompson. Don't think there's anything right now from postgame, but still, I don't think that matters right now with the way that the game won. But it's a good start. It's a good start to this series. I would love to see, because I'm going to tomorrow's game, I would love to see Mick Abel shove against the Mets lineup that is really struggling. I believe Francisco Lindor especially is struggling. I believe they said on the broadcast when the game started he's like 0 for his last 17 or something like that. So, yeah, Francisco Lindor has been very struggling. And he was a main cog in their resurgence last year, him going in the leadoff spot. And I guess right now when he struggles, the team struggles. But it really has, because the Mets starting pitching obviously has been going down with a lot of injuries as well, so they're a little bit scarce in that position too. but you got to take advantage of it. You got to take advantage of a team that's reeling. You got to take advantage of a team that's struggling. And today you did do that. Today you did do that. And you got to keep doing that. I want you to win this series. 2 of 3. That's what I asked for in this series. You take advantage of a struggling team and you set yourself up to win one of the next 2 games. And like I said, I would love to see McAble tomorrow shove. I would love to see McAble tomorrow shove. That would be very fun. That would be very entertaining. So, yeah, because, McAble, realistically, I think, except for like one start, has been very solid to start his major league career. And I think that one start was against Chicago or something like that, where he allowed the 3 home runs. But basically, realistically, since then, he's been very good. He has been very good for you. Let me see his score log or his game log from his, basically all of his major league starts. Yeah, Abel so far, he's 2-0 with a 2.1 ERA and a whip of 1.03. He's been very good for you. Been very good. Yeah, against Miami, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Yeah, realistically, his only game that he struggled was against the Cubs, so he's made 4 starts so far, and only one of those games he's allowed more than 1 earned run. Pittsburgh, no earned runs. Toronto, only 1 earned run. Chicago, 3 earned runs. And then the Marlins, 1 earned run. So he's been very good. He's been very good, and hopefully he just continues that, especially against a division rival. That would be very fun to watch. A young pitcher shove would be very fun to watch that. So yeah, good on them. Good on them. Good on them. A lot of people were, this was a series that a lot of people were circling on their calendars, especially now, obviously with the Mets struggling coming into this series and you getting closer and closer to getting back to within the division. For it being June, it's a very big series for possibly a division swing, and you needed to put out a good statement in the start of the series, especially with the way that the Mets embarrassed you, obviously, in the playoffs last year, and to start the season base in April with the series in Citi Field when you got swept. And, yeah, it's a good statement. It's a good statement. You really belt to ass in today's game. And I want you to continue, belt to ass. Continue doing that the next 2 games. Realistically, 1 more game in this series to win the series. And then, an icing on the cake would be a sweep, but I'm not guaranteeing that. I just say you put yourself in a good position to win 1 or more in the series, to win a series against the Mets, which is very crucial. So that's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do. And this game puts a lot of confidence in that. We'll see what McAble. You got McAble tomorrow, and you got Jesus Luzardo on Sunday. Tomorrow's a Fox game, and then Sunday's ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. So, national television. A bunch of national televised games. And I know so many people hate the Apple Television broadcast. I do too. The only thing that Apple TV does good is allow you to basically put the radio audio on while watching the broadcast. That's what I do every time. I just put on the option to listen to a Phillies radio broadcast so I can listen to Fransky, and it's much better. It's a much more enjoyable experience. But yeah, and my cat agrees with it too, as she is yelling at me. Why are you yelling at me, Shoko? I am recording, not recording, I am live streaming. You don't have to yell at me. Why are you yelling? She always, whenever she wakes up, she always yells at me. She's telling me to shut up. She's telling me to shut up. But yeah, speaking of me shutting up, probably should get to the anytime hotline here. We did get a text message like halfway through the game from Steven. He said bad managing from Rob Thompson. Zack had 6 days of rest and 3 under 100 pitches. And he's throwing a freaking Taiwan Walker. So basically that was a Zack acting like the game was over at that point, which was it was a very frustrating moment. Then he texted back saying never mind, which was kind of funny. But we do have 2 calls here. We have one from Franklin, and then we have one from Sean. Let's get the Franklin's call because his is the shorter one. Oh, wait. I did not put the audio up. Bad job by me. Bad job by me. I forgot to put the audio up for you guys. Now let's hear Franklin.
Hey, Amadeo. What a belt to ass performance by the Phillies tonight. I love to see them just whip the hell out of the Braves after them pantsing us in the NLDS and earlier this season. Let's just keep pounding them the next 2 games. Also, Taiwan Walker, fuck you, go to Taiwan, you bum.
That is funny. That is funny. Yeah, Taiwan Walker definitely. Go back to Taiwan. Man, classic. That's great. That's great. I got nothing on that. Yeah, Taiwan Walker. The experience is not fun. He's a sleeper agent for the Mets. That's basically it. Let's get to Sean. What you got, Sean?
Not the way we may have envisioned this game going coming into it, but they got the win that they needed. They got the win that they needed despite the best efforts of Taiwan Walker to blow it. They got the win they needed because they had some great at-bats in the bottom of the seventh inning. Other than Otto Kemp striking out, I mean, that's as good of an offensive inning as you can have as a baseball team. You know, getting on, you know, hitting with two strikes, hitting the ball to the off fields. I mean, that's what you have to do. In everything that happened during this game, the one guy that may get lost in the shuffle that deserves a lot of credit is Tanner Banks. I mean, he came in when the wheels had come off the wagon and stabilized things. You hate to see Wheeler get screwed out of a win, but Tanner Banks deserved to win that game too. But the job is not done. I'm real interested to see Mick Abel tomorrow night.
Shove.
This is a highly pressurized environment for the kid on national television, on Fox, in a packed stadium going out there.
Shove.
But I think he's up to the challenge.
Shove.
To me, you got to win the last two. 2 out of 3 isn't enough for me. I want the sweep. I mean, the pitching matchup, you have a decent chance to win it tomorrow, and then game 3, you go for the jugular, but do to them what Atlanta did. I mean, go out there and kick their ass like you did tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I always get nervous watching Phillies versus Mets, so I'm always satisfied with 2 out of 3. I just can never ask for that much because I know probably I'm gonna get heartbroken in the end. That's why I'm asking only for 2 or 3. But yes, if you do win tomorrow, then yes, I am hampering for a sweep on Sunday. But let's get to tomorrow. Let's get to tomorrow first. Hopefully, it's a very entertaining experience for me at the game tomorrow. I know it's gonna be fucking hot as balls, so that's the only thing that's really not the only thing that's. Hopefully, tomorrow being very hot weather is the only thing that I hate about tomorrow. Hopefully, that is the only thing that I hate about tomorrow. And the Phillies playing good baseball, Mick Abel shoving against the New York Mets with a packed stadium on national television, and your offense going off once again distracts me from the bothersome heat. Maybe that's what helps me tomorrow. And yeah, I hope that's the case. Or then obviously, yeah, if they win tomorrow, I'm asking for a sweep. If they win tomorrow, I'm asking for a sweep. But I'm not doing that right now just because it's only one game. I'm not doing that right now because it's only one game. But hey, good on them. Good on the Phils. So let's get to some of you guys here in the chat. Then we'll end it off because I'm sure Brodes is doing his pod at some point here that I'm going to have to edit. So Tyler, how you doing? Yep, belt the fucking ass. Franco, love this game, but Taiwan needs to be sent to Taiwan. Walker fucked Wheeler. 6 for Walker is a fucking joke. Get him off the goddamn team already. I know. He is not. He is. Yeah, you just can't. Just cannot. Franco basically is just restated in this call what he said in the chat right here. Great. That's classic stuff. Yeah, screw it's the mid-June, make them pay for the NLDS. Bank shoved. I didn't think the Phillies would score 10 runs in the series, let alone one game. $750 for Soto. Cohen really has no clue how to own a team. Being an owner who cares about winning is one thing, but being a competent owner is another. Honestly, Rob should have been ejected after the terrible strike 3 call. I agree. LA Knights getting killed in the ring. Don't spoil. I'm assuming that kind of spoiled it for me. Sorry. I know it's not your fault, but I had it paused before starting the stream, so I'm sure there's probably something that's going to be continuing here. Really surprised the Mets didn't challenge the call. I hope they can get a dub in my attendance. I hope they do too. It's on the Mets pack. All good, Franklin. All good. Taiwan Walker really tried to set the tone for the bullpen, getting blown up tonight. You're good. You're good, Frank. You're good, Frank. Who knows? Maybe I'll turn it on and you were fucking lying about LA Knight getting crushed. But he did have a really good. He did have a good promo with Paul Heyman. That was very nice. So hopefully, the feud just continues to grow. Hopefully, LA Knight does get moved to Raw, so it just continues to elevate LA Knight, because he does deserve at least a title shot to get out of the mid card. I think he deserves to be in a main event type of guy here, or just a guy that deserves to go after a title. So yeah, I think that's good here. Try to make sure if there is anything else from the game. There is an interview from JT Realmuto. What else is there? What else is there? Was there anything that I bookmarked from today? I don't think there was. Rob Thompson just talking about JT's and Nick's slide play. No, there's nothing really much here. There's nothing really much here. And Jeff Kerr puts a tweet about Trey Turner's National League ranks among shortstops. Trey Turner, 91 hits. That's first among shortstops. Batting average, 299. First among shortstops. On base percentage, 357. First among shortstops. OPS, 811. Third among shortstops. He's tied for first with doubles with 16. Tied for first with triples with 2. Second with 19. And 52 with runs scored. So, yeah, Trey Turner's having a pretty good year. Pretty good year. So, yeah. A lot of the hate talk about Trey Turner. People really wanted to go crazy on him. Really wanted to go crazy. But yeah, good win for the Phils today. Good win for the Phils. Let's see if they just continue that with this 3-game series. 2 more games left, obviously. With McAble tomorrow, then Luzardo on Sunday before you have the day off on Monday, then going to Houston. So we'll see what happens there, boys. But that'll do it for tonight. So, good win. Good win. That's what we needed. Definitely needed that type of game today against a hated division rival. So, hopefully tomorrow's game is enjoyable, and the heat is the only thing that I do hate. And then we'll be back at some point tomorrow after the game. Can't guarantee the time just because I'll have to walk home, and might take a little bit to recuperate from the heat. But it should be nighttime, so hopefully it won't be as hot. But I like to be dramatic. But yeah, we'll have a recap tomorrow after tomorrow night's game, and yeah, we'll touch bases then. So appreciate y'all for tuning out today. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. You can also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal, do not pass it up. And yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. And I'll see you next time.